You tell yourself you're just lazy, that you've lost your discipline, that you need to try harder. But this didn't used to be you. You used to care. You used to push. You used to have energy. So what changed? Why does doing the smallest task now feel heavier than it should? Maybe this isn't laziness. Maybe your brain is trying to tell you something. You wake up tired, not physically exhausted, just flat. You scroll for a while, you delay getting up. You feel guilty before the day even begins. Simple tasks feel strangely overwhelming. Emails, laundry, replying to a message. You're not doing nothing because you enjoy it. You're doing nothing because everything feels like friction, and the guilt makes it worse. Lazy people don't usually feel intense shame about resting, but you do. You remember a version of yourself who was driven, focused, responsible. Now you feel detached, like you're watching your life from a slight distance. That emotional distance has a name: depersonalization. It's a common stress response when the brain is overloaded for too long. It reduces emotional intensity to protect you. It turns the volume down. The problem is, it turns the volume down on everything, including motivation. You feel disconnected from your own life. You used to care deeply about something: work, school, a hobby, a relationship. Now it feels dull. Chronic stress reduces dopamine, sensitivity in the brain's reward system. Dopamine isn't just about pleasure, it's about anticipation, drive, forward momentum. When stress becomes constant, the brain conserves energy. It stops investing excitement into things that once mattered. Not because they're meaningless, but because your system is overloaded. You're more irritable. Now small things annoy you. Noise feels louder. Requests feel heavier. People feel demanding. That's not a moral failure. That's nervous system fatigue. When the stress response stays active too long, the brain's threat detector becomes more reactive. Everything feels like too much. Even neutral things. You withdraw. You cancel plans. You delay texts. You isolate, not because you dislike people, but because social interaction requires emotional energy, and you don't feel like you have any left. You start neglecting yourself. Sleep patterns shift. Eating becomes irregular. You stop caring how you look, not dramatically, gradually. Burnout doesn't arrive in a single moment. It builds in stages. By the time you notice something is wrong, you've been running on empty for months. And because it happens slowly, you blame yourself. There's no dramatic crash to point at, just a quiet fading. But laziness implies unwillingness. Burnout is different. Burnout is depletion. You weren't always like this, which means this isn't your identity. It's your nervous system adapting to overload. And adaptation is not weakness, it's protection. Your brain is trying to keep you from breaking. It lowers output, reduces emotional intensity, numbs desire, pulls you back. It's not that you don't care, it's that your system can't sustain caring at that level anymore. The real issue isn't motivation, it's recovery. Imagine your brain like a battery. Every demand drains it. Normally, rest recharges it. But chronic stress changes the equation. Stress hormones stay elevated. Motivation circuits become less responsive. The result is a loop. Stress leads to exhaustion. Exhaustion reduces motivation. Low motivation creates guilt. Guilt creates more stress. It becomes a cycle. Burnout is like a smoke detector that never turns off. At first it's helpful, but if the alarm keeps ringing for months, the system malfunctions. You don't become more productive under constant alarm. You shut down, and shut down can look like laziness, but biologically, it's protective. Your brain is applying the brakes. The question isn't, how do I force myself? It's, how do I release the brake? Start by reducing invisible stress. Remove one small recurring demand. Even small reductions lower the brain's stress load. Reintroduce effort gradually. 10 focused minutes is enough. Small completions. Restore motivation circuits. Separate identity from output. Low energy is data, not a verdict about your worth. Schedule true recovery. Quiet walks, slow moments, space without stimulation. That signals safety to the nervous system. Reconnect with one meaningful task in a smaller form. 1 paragraph. 1 small step. Meaning reactivates motivation more sustainably than pressure. Remember this mental model. You are not broken, you are braked. Brakes exist for a reason. Lower the alarm, restore the battery, release the brakes slowly. Motivation returns when safety returns. If you've been calling yourself lazy lately, pause. Look at the timeline. Look at the stress. Look at the slow erosion. Maybe your body has been protecting you. Maybe this exhaustion is information, not a verdict. And maybe the gentlest thing you can do right now is stop fighting yourself and start listening. Because sometimes the quietest shutdowns are the loudest signals for change.